All right, people. As I mentioned in my last video, it's time to get rocking. Spent the last hour and a half working through kind of the start of my master jig and template for the mid-bass cabinet. As I mentioned in the last video, that mid-bass cabinet is gonna house two ScanSpeak 18W mid-bass drivers and two 10-inch passive radiators. And I already did all the modeling. I roughly know that's a little over a cubic foot of enclosure space. It's actually like 1.13, 1.14. And how I typically approach designing the first jig is to make things symmetrical. I will work on half of the enclosure and start sketching and drawing out lines. How I also approach building jigs is I always come up with the ultimate master first, and then I kind of do a reductive process where I'll start taking bits and pieces of this master, making copies and copies and copies and copies to where I'll have a bunch of iterations of this design and with templates specifically made to solve certain problems. So case in point is this guy here includes the base, the size of a heavy marker line, and then on the first couple pieces, it's gonna end right here at this line. And then this line right here will be the vast majority of the middle of the sections of the mid-bass cabinet. And the reason being is that the profile of this mid-bass cabinet slopes to the back. And this template or this extra will allow that slope to happen to the back. And then because of this straight line here, I'll mount a jig with the shape, and then I'll flush trim the shape to the side of the contour of the enclosure. Hope all that makes sense. I've already kind of also roughed where the two mid-bass drivers are gonna sit. And then had to work through probably the biggest challenge, and that is figuring out how to put that guy on the side of a curved cabinet. And essentially how I'm going to approach it, and once again, I'll have to work through this problem, is I'm gonna have to make and that's what this pencil line here is, I'm gonna have to make a jig that creates a flat surface that will have the hole cut out for the, where the basket will mount to, and then the outer radius of the basket. So I'll have two jigs that will mount on the outside, and then I'll have to use a 3D template router bit with the bearing on not the bottom of the router bit, the top. Actually, it'll be a much larger version of this one. Just think about this guy right here, about, I think it's 2 inches long. So Joey, I'm gonna have to get some of that love from you here shortly. So this is it. What I'll end up doing now is routering out using my new awesome templates from Mobile Solutions. And I will make the outer master. I'll then copy that onto another piece to make the exact half of a mirrored half of it. And then I'll combine those two to make the very first full jig that will be, should be an exact copy from left to right. More to come on all this, but thank you for being along the journey. More videos to come.